Hello friend, this is Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you are watching Spring Boot with MongoDB series part 2. In a part 1 we saw how to install MongoDB and also how to install MongoDB Compass, and we also perform the few basic operation and understand the Spring MongoDB fundamental. Okay, in this video we will create a one simple CRUD operation using a Spring Boot and MongoDB. So let's open the STS. If you don't know how to install STS old version or new version, okay, then I have already created a video here in this playlist, all program required software. Okay, you can watch video in this playlist. Okay, let's open our STS, create a new project. Here new, here you can see Spring Starter project. Here we can select any name, project name. I'll simply select Spring with Mongo. Okay, Spring with MongoDB. Okay, select the Java version. We don't require 11 or 16. I'll simply select the 8. My group name is com.demo. Then my project name, artifact is nothing but a project name. Then we select here package name com.example.demo. If you want to change, then you can change this name. Okay, let's click next. Let's select the few required dependency. Okay, we are using here Spring Web application. That's why select first Spring Web. Okay, select this dependency. Then we are going to perform CRUD operation using a MongoDB. Let's select MongoDB. You can see here no SQL database. Okay, Spring Data MongoDB. Okay, I'll select this one and I'll use one more Lambbook. In a Lambbook we don't need to define a setter and getter. If you don't know how to use the Lambbook, how to install, how to set Lambbook in your favorite IDE, then I already have created one video Lambbook. You can see here. Okay, let's go. You can see here Lambbook. Okay, install Lambbook and your Eclipse and STS. Okay, let's move our IDE. We have selected Lambbook, then Spring Data MongoDB, then Spring Web. Click next, then finish. It will download all required dependency on the internet. Laptop should be connected on the internet. Let's expand this project. You can see here open POM file. In a POM file you can see here we added dependency MongoDB data MongoDB, then we added Spring Web, then here we added Lambbook. Okay, let's add the MongoDB connectivity. Okay, here we have to add all MongoDB connection information. I'll simply copy my previous file. Okay, and I'll explain. Here we have to define three things. First one is our local host. I am using the same machine. My MongoDB installed the same machine. That's why I am using here localhost. Then MongoDB port number. Where from where you get this MongoDB port number? I'll simply here type, open command prompt. Then I'll simply type here Mongo, and you can see here port number MongoDB, your IP address, then port number 27017. I'll simply pass that 27017. Then our database name, MongoDB database name. You can, okay, you can define anything here. I'll simply define here Spring Boot DB, Spring Boot Mongo. Okay, I'll simply copy this. I'll save this. In a last video we saw how to download Mongo Compass. Okay, I'll show you Mongo Compass. Once you download a Mongo Compass, then you can simply open that Mongo Compass. Okay, it will take some time. In a first time it will take. Okay, then it's initialize. then your Mongo Compass is launched, you can simply create a new connection from here. Okay, simply connect. It will automatically sync your MongoDB database. Okay, you can see here this is all my MongoDB database. Let me create a one new collection, create a database. I'll create a new database, Spring Boot Mongo. If you want to create any collection, then I'll create a one collection, employee, and then create database. You can see here our database is here, and inside of that database there is one collection, employee. Let's move the application. Here we define host, localhost, port. That port we get from, we run Mongo command, and here we get that particular port number. Okay, let's close this or minimize this. Okay, then we also define here our database name. Okay, simply three things we define in an application.property file. Let's save this file, open src main java folder. Inside that folder there is a one default package. Let's create your required package. Okay, let's new package. First we required model package. Okay, demo dot, okay, one model package. Then we required one more package. Okay, dot repo package. Okay, and also we required service package. Service package. One more package we required, controller package. Okay, let's hit the enter button. Let's create a first model. Okay, let me create a class, model class. Here we define employee. Our model class is created. In a JPA we define an entity, but in a case of MongoDB we have to define a document, because MongoDB working on a collection and document base. Okay, this is our document. If you type doc and control space, okay, you can see here MongoDB core mapping document. This annotation is added. You can pass here collection name, collection. Okay, and I am simply passing employee. Employee is my collection name. Okay, then we provide private string id. Okay, private string id, then @id. This should be unique. And in a MongoDB we don't have any annotation for auto generating id. In a JPA we have their annotation auto generate value, but in a MongoDB we don't have any concept like that. Okay, then second we add private string name, employee name, then private string address. Okay, then private string department, private double salary. Okay, I am not creating here getter setter. Okay, because I am using here lambbook. @data, simply add data, and lambbook is responsible to handle getter and setter. Once your employee document class create, then you have to create a one repo interface. Okay, let's create a one interface inside the repo package. Employee repo. I'll give simply name employee repo, and I'll extend here Okay, let's extends. You can see here we have lots of extensions. Mongo repository. Okay, and Mongo repository also required two things. First one is a document class name. Here employee, our document class name is employee, and document class unique id type is the string. Okay, let's pass these two things. Okay, once your repo class is repo interface is created, then go the service layer, add here one class. Okay, let's close this. Add here one class employee service. Okay, here define this class is a service @ okay, service. Here create a one by one. First add employee public void add employee. Let's create a @wire, that repo class, because we are going to access inbuilt method employee repo. Okay, add here annotation, add here @wire annotation. Okay, let's access this employee repo. Here simply employee repo dot, we have save, and also we have insert two method. I'll use a save method. Okay, save, and here we pass employee object. For that we have to get the employee object, employee dot emp, and here we pass that emp. Okay, this method is responsible to save new record. Let's create second method, get all employee. Okay, simply create here public, and all employee means we are getting a list of employee. Let's add a list, and inside a list pass the employee, because we are getting a list type, list of employee, employee type list. Okay, simply employee get all employee. Okay, and here return. Let's import the list package. Here we import java.util. Okay, let's return employee repo dot get, okay, or find all employee. Okay, we have a find all. Okay, let's this first one find all, and you can see here we got all employee. Here we will get all employee once. Okay, then next one is the get by id employee. Okay, here create method public single employee. Okay, get by id employee. Okay, and we should be pass here id. Our id type is a string id. Okay, let's create return employee repo dot get, okay, or find. You can see here we have a find by id. Okay, let's enter find by id, and let's check what's wrong. Find by id return optional. Okay, let's return type should be changed employee to optional. Okay, once your id done, then create method for update. Okay, public void update employee. Here pass employee object, employee emp, okay, and here employee repo dot save, okay, let's employee repo dot save, or let's check, do we have a update? No, we will use a, for update also we will use a save method. Okay, let's add here save and pass the employee object. Okay, once your update method done, let me add here caption update employee. Okay, then we create one more for delete employee, delete employee. Let's add here public void delete employee. Okay, here also pass employee id. Our employee id is a string type, string id. Here use employee repo dot delete. You can see here we have a delete by id option. Let's use that method, delete by id, and pass their id. Okay, let's check one more time. First we create a add employee method. Okay, there we use a save method, then we use a get all employee, there we use a find all method. Okay, and return list of employee. Then we create a one more method, find by id. Okay, it's written the optional value, it should be available or not available, that's why it's the optional. And then update, in a for update scenario also we use the save method. Okay, in a insert we can use here two method, one is a save and one is a insert. Okay, you can see here we also have a insert method, but for time being we will use save method. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, in the last one you can see here we perform the delete operation. For delete we use a delete by id, and there we pass the our employee id. Let's save this. We have done our service layer. Now we have to create our controller. Let's create a one class, controller class, employee controller. Add here this class is our controller class, @ we are using here REST controller. Okay, also we will add here request mapping, and we will give the root URL demo. Okay, then we also add one more course origin. Okay, let's create a one by one URL. The first one is for save employee. Let's create a for save employee, public void save employee. Okay, it's required employee object. Okay, let's add here @ post mapping, and here pass employee. Okay, here we required employee data, that's why we are taking data from body. Here add the request body and get that data and store that data inside the employee object emp. Okay, and pass that data in a for that we have to create attoware, service attoware. Okay, let's add the employee service. Okay, here add here attoware. Here we get the employee service object. Let's call that object employee service dot employee service dot add employee. Okay, and there we pass that employee object. Okay, our add employee API is done. Then create a second API, get all employee employee. Here we use a get mapping. Let's create a get mapping employee, add here public list of employee. That means we are getting a all employee and get all employee. Okay, here we call employee service dot get all employee. This method is responsible to return all employee, and those employee we have to return here. Return when we call this employee get employee method, that time we get a all employee. Okay, then second one is the get employee by ID. Get employee by ID. Let's create method public single employee. In this case we are getting a single employee. Get employee by ID. Okay, here we have to pass ID. Let's pass ID. For that, first define the URL get mapping. Okay, in get mapping here add employee. Also pass the variable ID. Also pass the ID here ID. Okay, we have to get that ID using a path variable at the rate path variable. Okay, ID type is string, and I will store this ID in an ID variable string. Okay, let's call employee service dot get by ID employee. Okay, here pass the ID and it should be written. Okay, and you can see here our return type should be optional. Our get employee by ID also done. Then next one is the update employee public void update employee. Here also we have to pass all employee object update employee. Okay, here add a URL put. Here we use a put method. Okay, for insert we use a post method. For get data we use a get method, and for update we use a put method. Okay, let's add here employee and get body data. For that I'll use here get request body. I'll use request body, and I'll store that data inside the employee object employee emp. Okay, simply access employee service and you access inside their update method. You can see update employee and pass there our employee object. Then next one is a delete employee. Here we create a public void delete employee, and here we pass the employee ID. Let's create string ID. Okay, let's create the delete. Here we use a for deleting delete mapping. Okay, here let's pass employee and that particular employee ID also. We have to access that ID. That's why we will use here path variable. path variable, and we can get that id here. Let's call employee service dot delete employee, and we will pass that particular id here. Okay, let's save this all. You can see here, first we perform the first one is the post employee for adding a new employee entry. Then second one is the get all employee for getting a all employee. Then next one is the get by employee, get by id for getting a particular employee only. Then we perform here update employee. Then we perform delete employee. Let's save this application, run this application, run as Spring Boot app. You can see here our application is running on port number 8080. Okay, let's test one by one API. Okay, for testing we are using here Postman. Let's open a Postman. Okay, create a new collection. Here plus sign, let's click that and create new collection. Here give the name Spring Boot with Mongo DB demo. Okay, I'll simply enter. You can see here our collection is added. Let's add one by one request. Add request. First one is for post data, localhost. I'll replace this demo slash employee, and method type should be post. Okay, let's check how many variable we have created. Open employee class. Here name, first one is the name. Let's create the JSON object raw format and text to JSON. Okay, let's create here. First one is the name. I'll give my name. Okay, then second, okay, not here. Then second one is the address. Okay, let's copy this. Address is Pune. Then third one is the department. Let's copy this one also. Department. I'll add department. Development. Okay, then last one is the salary. Salary should be, I'll give any random value. Okay, let's save this and hit the, I'll change this request name also, add employee. Okay, and hit the send button. Okay, we got here 200 response. Open your Mongo Compass. Okay, you can see here Spring Boot Mongo. We earlier created this database and also created this document. Okay, let's open this. You can see here this is my record I have added now. Okay, you can see here auto generated ID, then my name, address, department, and then salary. Okay, we will add one more record. Okay, let's change name now to Kiran. Okay, Pune to, oh, okay, I'll keep Pune QA. Okay, and salary should be random. Click the send button and refresh our database. Simply click here, refresh. You can see here our next record also added, and you can see here that auto generation ID should be different from both record. Okay, let's perform the second operation. Go to your ID controller. Our second operation is, okay, let's open employee controller. Our second operation is get all employee. Okay, you can see here get all employee. Okay, let's change that method. Postman, add one more. I'll add one more request for get all employee, and I will simply localhost demo employee, and method type should be get. In a get, when we performing get operation, then we don't pass anything, simply pass the URL. Okay, let's hit the send button. You can see here in a get all employee we are getting a 500 error. So let's solve this error. Okay, for that we have done one mistake here. Okay, if you go your employee model class, and you can see here if we have a add a collection, instead of A we have to add here E and then C, collection. Okay, let's save this. Okay, and terminate server, and again run this application. Okay, our application is started successfully. Let's again hit this URL. Now you can see here we got our two. That means our get employee API also work perfectly. For a next API, okay, add a new request, and this should be get by employee ID, get by employee ID. Okay, here add localhost 8080 demo slash the particular ID. We will take ID from here. Okay, I'll simply copy this ID. Okay, and paste here. Okay, let's hit the send button, save, and then hit the send button. You can see here we got the only one record, that particular ID record. Okay, the next one is the update employee. Let's add one more request for update employee. Okay, update employee, add here localhost employee, and method type should be put. For updating we use a put. In a body we will pass, okay, we will take, okay, for get employee I want to update this employee. Okay, I simply copy this payload, paste here, change text to JSON, and I want to change a department. Okay, for design it should be the name of novel employee, it's working in a design department. Let's save and hit the send button. You can see we got the 200 okay response. Let's check that employee data. Here earlier we have a development, department is a development. Let's click the send button. You can see now it's updated and it's showing the design. Okay, let's perform the last one, delete employee. Delete employee. For delete we use a delete method. Okay, add here localhost 8080 and pass that particular ID. Okay, I want to delete this employee. Which one? This novel name employee I want to delete. Okay, I'll simply change here. Okay, I have already defined here delete. Okay, I'll pass employee along with employee ID. Okay, I'll hit the send button. You got 200 okay response. Let's check all employee. It should be only one employee present here because we have a deleted one employee. Okay, first one employee we have already deleted. Let's hit the send button. You can see here, now we can see here only one employee. That means one employee is the deleted. Okay, we saw 5 API. First one for add employee, then second one for get all employee, then third one for get along with the ID. Okay, get employee, here we pass any particular ID and we will get only that employee. Then update employee, here we pass a payload and change value and hit the update button. In a payload we also pass ID. In that case only that particular ID employee should be update. Okay, then we have a last one, delete employee. In a delete employee we pass the ID and method type should be delete and we send and it should be delete. Now in this video we create one application, Spring Boot application, and let me check here also. I'll show you. Here should be only one record inside the compass. Okay, you can see here only one record because one is the one record we have already deleted. So in this video we saw CRUD operation using a Spring Boot with MongoDB. In a next video we will see how to do the advanced thing like how to add query inside the repo. Okay, we can add here query like we have to search only the name starting with A, or we have to search salary between okay, only those record. We will do those thing in a next video. Okay, if you like this video then like, share, subscribe.